Local First Radio Show. I'm your host, Matthew Swinnerton. It is so nice to be back on the radio live. Last week we had Cliff Hodges, and it was a pre-recorded show. We actually met with him earlier in the week because we wanted to promote his new show. He had a new show called, if I remember, Remote Survival. It's actually on the National Geographic Channel. Cliff Hodges from Adventure Out and what's the other one? And CrossFit West. It was an awesome show. So tune in again. It's actually going to be this Sunday. It's the second show. This Sunday at 10 o'clock on National Geographic. Congratulations, Cliff. It was a hit. It really worked out good the last week. So each and every week, we invite local entrepreneurs, business owners, to talk to them about how they started their business, why they started their business, and at the end of the day, what drives and motivates them to do what they do. Now, what time is it? It's 2:07. You had lunch a couple hours ago. You probably aren't hungry, but I guarantee after this episode, or maybe during the episode, you will be hungry when we listen to our guest. This week, we have Andrea Mollenauer. Did I pronounce that correctly, Andrea?
That's right.
Awesome. The last time I was talking to Andrea, she was actually on a ladder, I think. Thank you for coming. Now, Andrea's from the Lifestyle Culinary Arts and the Food Lounge. Thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
Then we have Angela Aurelio. Is that correct?
That's right.
See, names are the hardest thing for me. I'm never good at that, but I got them. So you are from Angela Aurelio Photography, freelance food, and lifestyle photographer. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Awesome. Thank you for coming today. And then we have probably the easiest name, Adam Armstrong. How you doing, Adam?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Are you feeling better? You were sick yesterday.
Yeah, I'm feeling better.
Good. So cool. I forced him to come to the radio.
Yeah.
So, what was really nice about today is, I guess I have two confessions today, and the first one is, I only had one guest as of yesterday at like 12 o'clock, and that was Angela.
Oh.
Yeah. And so
that's why you call me.
That's why I called Angela, because she's so helpful. But I was saying, like, okay, so Angela, food photography, where am I going to go with this one? I usually
I could do the whole show by myself.
You could.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, no, that was almost the plan.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, that was. But then I was like, you know what? Okay, no, that's not the premise of the show. I want to actually have more people. So thought of food, and I've actually wanted your Andrea's actually on my list. You're on my list for like the people I want on the show. I was like, wait, I'm going to ask her, even though I was going to have her like a couple weeks later. And so she said yes, and I have somebody I can have, and that was Adam. So
I'm the bonus person.
Exactly. No, you are the main person. No. So before we say another word, before we get into the actual show, we really could not have the show, or the show could not happen without our sponsors. Our first sponsor, Staff of Life, the local natural food market. They've actually been in our town for 40 plus years. They're located at 1266 Soquel Avenue. Again, if you want good, natural, organic food, go to the Staff of Life. So we're going to start off with our How You Started segment. Now, you guys are all entrepreneurs. That's not an easy thing to do. I mean, like, you could have had a 9-to-5 job. You could have been in a cubicle, kind of like a normal job. Quote unquote. I'm actually doing little quotes with my fingers. Is that normal? Everybody has their own normal thing. I mean, could you guys imagine being in a cubicle?
I was.
You were?
I was.
Okay. So did you, and this is Angela, could you stand it? Or were you okay with it?
I was happy to have a paycheck,
Okay.
but yeah, it was not for me. The whole tapping on the keyboard and smelling the copier paper and just, I just felt like a little rat in a maze.
Yeah.
And it's like, for some people it's a great job, but for me, I wasn't getting that creative flow out.
Yes.
And I felt very stifled.
So I think that's a good word, stifle. It does. So I know for a lot of entrepreneurs, they're so eager to create and build and do something out of nowhere. So let's start with Andrea. Actually, I want first about you. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Montreal.
Oh, okay.
And when I am Canadian. And when I started, I wasn't in a cubicle, but I was aiming towards a 9-to-5. I was a sports medicine major. And the way I got
into all this cooking business was I starting to take cooking classes after school because I was kind of bored, and I was also feeling a little unhappy with my career choice at the time. And so I started taking after school, weekend cooking classes in the community. And I thought, my gosh, I just need to make this a career instead, because it's I'm way more passionate about it than what I had been studying for. And so I didn't end up in the 9 to 5. I didn't do what Angela did, but I was on my way in that direction. And instead I chose like passion versus 9 to 5 paycheck.
So what is it about food? I mean, I've talked to you, and I don't want to steal your thunder, but you are really passionate about food and passionate about feeding people. He says even more so.
That's key. So you've heard me speak recently at Event Santa Cruz a couple months ago, and feeding people just became so. Originally, it was healing people. I was in sports medicine, and then I thought, well, you can heal people in so many different ways, right? And so people are much happier to come see me now when I'm feeding them and we're dining together and we're communing around a table. And so I started a catering company after leaving the East Coast of Canada and coming all the way to California to start a new career, a new life, new school, and started a catering company thereafter 10 years ago. And it just kind of evolves. My idea of feeding people and my passion and for feeding the community has kind of evolved over the last 10 years into what I'll talk about later today. But
so how did you get from Montreal to Santa Cruz? What was the Santa Cruz hook?
Well, I visited a few places in California looking for that career change moment. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I heard about, a bunch of different professional schools, community college schools that focused in culinary. Met someone, moved here just because this is where they lived. And I made this my home, and now I own my own business. And
so it was a big part of it was a relationship.
At the time.
Yeah. Okay.
At the time.
So Lifestyle Culinary Arts, that's what it was.
That's the name of my catering company,
Yes.
Lifestyle Culinary Arts.
And before we get into the next stage, you're still going to be a caterer?
Oh, yes.
You're not stopping that?
Not stopping. Part of the move, the new creation, the new business is bringing the catering company to this brand new kitchen. And
just say what it is.
It's the Food Lounge. The Food Lounge.
Is it open yet?
Well, we invited some people in this morning.
It was a big party.
It was a big party this morning.
Socialites?
The Santa Cruz Socialites, a group of really strong entrepreneurial social women in Santa Cruz.
The pictures I saw the pictures this morning. It made me want to be a female. I wish I could be in that group.
You know what we do? We invite some men to come.
Really?
They DJ or they bartend or they just entertain us. And I'd be glad to invite you one of these times.
You wouldn't want to hear me DJ. I don't know.
Or sing. You can sing for us.
Even worse. No, my Barry man. No, never mind. So
Lifestyle will become kind of part of the Food Lounge, where the Food Lounge is more of an event venue.
Okay.
And Lifestyle will be the caterer who can provide food for anyone wanting to have parties and events there.
Nice. So when is it actually open? Like right now, you're working on it. It's under construction.
I was on a ladder painting, Matthew, when we spoke yesterday.
See, you were on the ladder.
I was on a ladder.
So that shows how passionate, excited you are. It's like you're up there you're probably working at 2 a.m.
We're painting and scrubbing and power washing and scrubbing some more. The place needs a lot of work, and we're really excited to kind of get it all fixed up. We wanted to show it this morning unfinished and under construction.
That's fun.
To this group of women, because it was about what are your goals for the new year? And so I just threw my hands up and said, this is my goal for the year. This is my dream board, and welcome. It's a construction zone, but come back when we're finished.
Isn't that what it was today? It was about your dreams for 2015.
Yes, it was called Dream Big for the Santa Cruz Socialites.
Nice. So what everybody put on their board what they thought.
Yeah, they just networked and talked about what their visions are for the year, and made these boards full of pasted pictures in magazines and things that are inspiring to them this year. And I just avoided the entire cardboard board and just looked around at my walls all morning and said, this is my big art project for the year. Welcome to the Food Lounge. And we invited everybody in, and I catered breakfast, and it was great.
So I'm sorry if I missed it, but when's the actual date? What's the trajectory of date you think it's going to happen?
As fast as I can get the paint slapped up on the walls. We're having a few issues right now with the back kitchen with some gas leaks and some sewage and plumbing issues. And so as soon as we can get all of our renovations finished and all of the kitchen permitted and all of our permits transferred over from the old kitchen, then we'll be open probably by February.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Boy, it's still always longer than you anticipate.
Yeah, because I anticipated I'd be open by the 15th of January.
Exactly, yeah.
So
what are we at right now?
Yeah.
Oh, you're 2 days late.
So sometime in February, as soon as we're able.
Well, that's really good compared to other ones. I think of one company of mine that they've been trying to open up for a whole year now. And so
it's not like me. It's not like me. I'm just going to push until it gets open.
It's so funny. Everybody I've talked to about what you're doing, they're like, "Oh man, she is the perfect person for this." And we know it's going to be open like right away.
Yep. There's no dilly-dallying. Like I could plan it for a year, and I could scrub it for a year, and I could paint it for a year, but I'd rather be open by February and have a party.
It's funny. That shows though. I mean, because it was a working business.
It
when
was
you took it over
right before Christmas.
Yeah, it was still okay. And God, look how much you probably have some good plans. That it's going to be a little special then if you're putting all this work into it.
Yeah, we're kind of we're changing a lot of the colors, a tiny bit of the decor. We're trying to lounge it down a little bit. We're calling it the food lounge for a space where people want to come and just hang out. They want to hang out and have good food, full bar, live music, local artists, and so a place where it's comfortable and it's casual. And so it's going to be a little bit more industry cool.
So, like, somebody wants to have lunch, and like, give me like the schedule. It's like, is it gonna be like breakfast, lunch, and dinner served? And what's
so it's been a restaurant there for probably 30 years.
Yeah.
This particular location, which is everyone knows the former India Joe's restaurant, right? So it's on Center Street.
I loved it when it was there. Yeah.
And so it's been a restaurant for years, and we're not going to do the restaurant model. So the premise is going to be you can either look at the calendar, the food lounge calendar, for like what's going on this weekend. What do you guys want to do on Friday night? Is there a guest chef there? Is there any live music going on? So we'll have public calendar, and then we'll have it available for private events. You can book a party, you can book a business luncheon. We also collaborate a lot with tenants. So our incubator kitchen, our large commercial kitchen, we rent to tenants, and we're communicating with some of them right now about do you want to have some lunch for the downtown business community weekdays? Do you want to do any weekly pop-ups and things like that? So it's going to be this moving variety of food, art, and entertainment events, and I hope that like a lot of them will surprise the community. Like come, see guest chefs, pop-up dinners. One of our tenants is sitting across from me over there, Adam from Mudari Chocolates, and he is a tenant who's building out a small room in the front.
Ooh.
And he's going to be part of our community kitchen with a little bit of retail as well as his chocolate factory. And so you can come and he'll tell you all about his sipping chocolates, and you'll be able to find him there as well.
What drove you to, or thought, oh, that's a good idea, I want to do that?
Sipping chocolate or hot chocolate?
No. Just going in with Andrea with the food lounge. What was?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I was a tenant of her last project.
Okay.
On Front Street, and when she explained what she was doing, I was like, I'm on board.
Nice.
Yeah. And once I saw the space too, I mean, the space is really nice, and just the fact that we can have like our own kind of like little section. I mean, it looks beautiful. So
I cannot believe that it is the 17th, and I have not seen it yet.
I know.
I need to drop by.
Come by this week, please.
I will for sure. I have a couple things I want to talk to you about. Of course.
Perfect. Let's have a party there.
Yes. It seems a lot of mental output to do what you're doing right now. I mean, that especially, it's like not a restaurant. I know a restaurant is so hard, but what you're doing, I mean, this is like a lot of moving parts, and it's constantly changing. You're like making a show like every week. Yeah.
So,
I'm so sorry. Actually, I forgot I have a commercial break. So we're going to continue that in 2 minutes. Be right back.
Wow, I'm standing outside the Staff of Life Natural Food Store watching shoppers buzz in and out like bees at their hive on a hot summer day. I'm wondering, what do all those shoppers find at Staff of Life they can't find at the big box store? Let's ask.
Tom, I've been shopping at Staff of Life since they first opened. It's always good prices, good selection. You always see people like you.
Hi, my name's Kalila. They're wonderful people, and I like to give my business to the people in my community. They have a good meat department. They have a great produce department. I mean, you can't find anything like this. It's for me that it's very satisfying to shop here.
Sharon, Santa Cruz. Staff of Life has the best food. I get fresh everything I need. They have a lot of things I can't find anywhere else.
Think local first and eat local first by shopping in genuine Santa Cruz tradition. The original, locally owned Staff of Life natural food store at 1266 SoCal Avenue in Santa Cruz. If you can't find it at Staff of Life, maybe you don't want to find it.
If your online experience is like this, and you'd like it to be much more like this, then call Jabico on 454-0850. The team at Jabico has spent the last 13 years transforming web experiences that feel like this to this. So if dealing with the web can sometimes feel like this,
The latter consisted simply of 6 hydrophobic
then
muzzle
call us at 454-0850 or check us out online at jabico.com, jabico.com.
Welcome back to the Think Local First radio show. So I rudely just cut off Andrea right now, and we're asking about, what do we say, mental fortitude? Is that the word we're using?
Yes.
God, it's a lot of mental output to do what you do. How do you do that?
Well, as if being in the kitchen industry, the food industry isn't physically exhausting enough. I'm exhausted right now. I'm having a hard time. We're creating all of these collaborations with new tenants and with the community and with local businesses and local nonprofits to have events there and to promote their businesses. And so I'm a little bit spent right now. I can't lie. Yeah.
But it's exciting though.
But it's so exciting, and that's what drives me. You know, you said that I'm just. I think you mentioned earlier I'm kind of involved everywhere, and it's what drives me. I really love what I do, and it's totally worth it. When we open the doors in the next month or so, you'll see it's totally worth it.
Can't wait. Okay, so we're going to talk to you pretty soon. We're going to get back to you, but let's go to Angela. So, Angela, what was it that drove you, to photography?
That is a very good question. That is so broad.
It is, isn't it? And like, okay, wait. So you mentioned you had a job before. What were you doing before?
Oh gosh, that's another open question. I've actually done a lot of jobs.
Okay.
I've always loved photography. I'm like one of those people. You speak to them, they're like, "Oh, I've been taking pictures forever." But being from Ohio in the Midwest, it's not a career choice. It's like, okay, you use it as a hobby, but what do you really do for a living? And so it wasn't until I moved to LA in 2006, I was like, oh wait, like you can be an artist and like make a living. I'm like, okay, that's awesome. So I got a job working at Warner Brothers, but in the office, working with HR and accounting. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm in the creative industry, but I'm not creating. And when I moved to Las Vegas, I found a really great photography program at the College of Southern Nevada. And it was one of those things where it just like, I was still working an office job. I was a publisher's assistant for a media group, still in the creative industry, but still having an admin job. And it was actually, that driving force of wanting to take it a step further, not just taking photos, but I really wanted to do this for a living, and realizing that going to work every day wasn't inspiring, but, taking the classes and applying what I was learning, like, was really exciting. And I was really pushing my brain to learn things that, oh my gosh, I never thought I could do with the technical aspect and lighting. And when you do something, you get excited. You can't wait to go back to it. Mm-hmm. And going into the office every day at like 7 a.m., I was like, oh man, going to school at night, I couldn't wait to get there.
Nice. So what kind of photography do you do?
My focus is primarily food. I consider myself commercial advertising. So, I'll photograph people, mainly food. I work a lot with creative industries like McDell Associates, their marketing company locally.
Yeah.
Guerrilla Branders, I did a project with them last fall.
Okay.
New Leaf Community Markets is one of my favorite clients.
Those. Yeah.
And it's
definitely in the food industry.
It definitely mainly focused on the food industry. Yeah.
So how did that come about? Like, I mean, was it just your love of food, or you just fell into like, okay, I did something for New Leaf and then it kept on expanding, or how did that work?
For me personally, I mean, I love food. Like, I'm one of those people where I look at food, I collect the magazines. Like, I didn't realize how many food magazines I actually got until I had to move and change my address for every single one. And I'm like, all right, I have a problem now. I'm hoarding food magazines.
You know, it's funny. If I look at all three of you, too, you're all in the food industry. You guys must work out because you guys seem very fit. Yeah.
No, we're overworked.
Yeah, that's what it is.
All the gear we have to lift.
That's what it is, yeah.
But, you know, it wasn't until I was in college and I knew I needed to find my niche with photography. And there's so many different options. You have advertising, you have commercial, you have automotive, you have wedding, portrait. And I watched a photographer do a presentation on food photography. Mm-hmm. And he talked about how, I hate to say the word tedious, but how meticulous you have to be and how time consuming it can be with paying attention to details. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's it. Like, you mean I could take my love for Gourmet Magazine and do it for a living? That's awesome. Like, I get to play with food for a living. It's the greatest job ever.
So we talked about this before the show, but like from my personal experience, when I was in high school and college, I loved photography, and that's what I wanted to do. But then I thought about it. It's like, you know what? Do I want to kind of make that a business? I think I would kind of like lose the excitement of it. I regret that decision now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, how do you feel? Do you feel like, you know, you're doing exactly what you do, but it is a business? Is it hard to keep that motivation, that excitement going?
I'd say the business side of it does. You have to really understand the business end. You can't, you know, it's not just taking a pretty photo.
Yeah.
The business end, there's the marketing, there's the bookkeeping.
You do that all?
I do it all.
Okay.
Scheduling, retouching. Sometimes I play food stylist, art director. You know, I wear a lot of hats. And you at the end of the day, it's when you get in there, you're focused, you're excited, you come home, you're happy. It's like, I never had a job before when I came home, and I was just so excited to tell my husband, oh my gosh, we photographed, you know, caramel dripping off a cake today, and it was just gorgeous. And like, some people just don't get that, but like when you're passionate about something like photography or food, you're like, oh, you can imagine it.
Where do people find your artwork? Do you have a website or?
I do, AngelaAurelio.com.
Okay.
Through the holidays, like if you go through like New Leaf markets, you see it on the cash register, like it's like my turkey. So I go check out and I'm like, it's my turkey up there.
Everybody look at my turkey.
Like, it's my turkey. I shoot occasionally for Edible Monterey Bay magazine.
Okay. Yeah.
And just kind of a little bit all over. I've done work with like Medill Associates for like Cow Giant. Right. So you know, it's everywhere.
Did you work with Ted Studio Holiday? Is that how I know you? Like,
yeah.
How do we know each other?
Yeah. We worked a little bit on a cookbook promo project. They were
Okay.
designing it, and I photographed it. And you know, it's a small community.
It's funny because when we announced that. That when the poster came out that you two were both to be on the show, Ted Holiday was all excited about it because he loves both of you guys. And it's funny because I think, do you know who's the actor that plays Cliff on Cheers? Do you remember? Do you know that guy?
I'm bad with names.
But do you know what I'm talking about? That guy? He has a mustache.
Yeah, the mailman.
Yeah, the mailman. Yeah. So you know he is in every single Pixar movie. Like no matter what Pixar movie, even if it's just one line, he's always like in it. And I feel Ted Holiday is like that guy, like the Cliff of this show, because no matter what,
the Cliff of Santa Cruz.
Yeah, he's always on the show. Like we mention him, he calls in, he's on, he texts a comment. Somehow it's like
that's
like
good marketing.
This is the Ted show.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
He might be the person in Santa Cruz who knows more people than you, Matthew.
Oh, no, by far he does. Yeah, I call him to ask, hey, I need to get to know this person.
Yeah.
No, very well done. Ted's a cool guy. I remember the first time I saw him. It was at a freelance camp, and I remember he came in the room. It's like, you know, he's taller than everybody. He had a cool shirt on, his like pompadour hair, and I was just looking at him. I didn't even know him. I was like, man, that guy's cool. Yeah, I don't even know who he is, but I knew I would like him. No. Okay, so I'm sorry that detracts this week in Ted. So what's next? What's next for you? Are you on the kind of the same for your business? Is there something else you want to do? Or are you just going to keep on the same trajectory? You feel like everything's going pretty well?
Well, I'm always looking to grow. I'm always gaining more clients. I would love to do more with clients throughout the Bay Area. You know, getting the cover of Bon Appetit would be pretty awesome. It's a goal of mine.
Okay, everybody try to help her do that. They
know
somebody.
You know somebody at Bon Appetit. Set up my website. I would love to open a studio space. That's been a little bit of a struggle finding the correct space in Santa Cruz just because a little expensive, and I'm kind of picky with what I want.
So is most of the work you do is on site?
It is on site.
Okay, yeah. Which is tough because you have to bring the whole setup.
Yeah, my car right now is full of light stands and lights, and I lift it all myself. So it is a physically and mentally challenging job. So that is how we stay fit.
It is.
I'm about to say, because if you see her, I mean, she is not a large lady.
Well, thank you.
5'1", 2?
5'2".
5'2". Okay,
5'2".
2. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think we're all, besides Adam, we're in that range. Yeah.
5'2", 5'3".
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, Ted Holiday he did just text
Ted,
right now.
wow.
Yeah.
Hi, Ted.
Hey, Ted. And then I said hi. He says. So, let's go back to you, but we're gonna move on to Adam now. Now, Adam, since I already forgot how to pronounce the name, what is it?
Mudati.
Mudati. Okay, so what is Mudati?
So Mudati is Mudati chocolate, and we focus on drinking chocolates.
Okay.
So chocolates that you can drink. So hot chocolate, sipping chocolate, brewing cacao, things of that nature.
Cacao is kind of like it's like a less sweet chocolate, isn't it?
Well,
Like
all chocolate's made from cacao.
Oh, okay. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that comes from the fruit. It's the seed inside of the fruit. That's what cacao is.
Yeah, I have a confession, and I've made this is my second confession of the show. I must have a genetic issue or something, but actually I don't like chocolate.
Oh.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Oh,
It's
you're
like-
the only second person I've ever heard
My
say that.
son doesn't like chocolate. Yeah,
That's interesting.
and
Every once in a while I run into someone. I'll like ask them, if we're doing a sampling or something like that. It's
That's
like, I want to
weird,
try
though.
something. Be like, oh no, I don't like
Yeah.
chocolate.
Because I see people's face when they eat
Oh,
chocolate.
yeah.
I mean, there's like certain foods that get people excited, and
Yeah.
it seems like chocolate is one of them. And I'm missing that taste. Or
Have you
something.
tried chocolate with other ingredients in it that bring out some of the other flavors?
Peanut butter?
Peanut butter?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I can do like a Reese's Pieces and those
Yeah,
kind of like
you
those
like that
bad
kind of?
chocolates. Like I can do that, but
That has a
like,
lot of sugar in
But
it,
good
yeah.
chocolate,
You don't
I
like it?
don't for
Dark
some
choc-
reason.
dark
Yeah,
chocolate?
and my wife's like
Yeah.
obsessed with it. What she likes is
Interesting.
because then she gets all the chocolate.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it works out if we have any chocolate in the house
All
and
right.
my daughter. But anyway, I regress. So
That's okay.
so what? So it's you're talking about your chocolate. Where do people get your chocolate? Do they buy it online? Do they?
Yeah,
go to
you
your
can buy it
events?
online. Yeah, there's places all around town you can buy it at.
Like where?
Up in Scotts Valley, Zinnia's, Bumblebee by the Sea, downtown. You can go to True Olive Connection, Artisans, Cameron Marks.
Oh, wow.
Over
Okay.
on the west side, and then outside in Aptos. And yeah.
So a bunch of places.
Yeah, a bunch of places. We're in the Bay Area a little bit, and we're in some specialty coffee locations down in coffee roasters and coffee shops.
So how did you? I mean, that seems like a lot of hustling. Do you have like a whole team?
Yeah, so it's my brother and I, and then our one employee, Ben.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that are one of them like the sales guy?
I'm the sales guy.
You are, okay.
Yeah,
Adam's
I'm
the everything guy.
He's the everything guy, yeah.
I'm kind of a
He's the conductor of the
jack
show,
of all-
yeah.
My brother focuses more on production,
Right.
and Ben is our new hire, and he'll be kind of running the shop when we have it out to the public.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, we're trying to add on people as much as we can, when we have the resources.
That's
to
tough
actually
though.
do
It's
it.
like, that's for a small business. It's
Yeah.
hard to like, okay, when do we get to the point where like we're overstressed and doing too much, but we need to hire somebody, but like financially it's tough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, how do you get
It's
to
just
that
like
point?
as soon as we have enough money to do it, we do it,
Do the
because
next-
it
yeah.
takes just a little bit stress off of me and my brother, just because we started off working like 12-hour days.
Okay. Yeah.
And so now it's only like
Now it's
8-hour
11
days.
hours.
Yeah, now it's 11 and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
that does give you extra time with your family and friends. Yeah.
well, it really just gives us extra time to grow the business a little bit, because you have to, or else you'll be dead in the water.
Yeah. So what was it? What was it about chocolate that is like, you know what? I want to be in business with chocolate.
Well, it was strange. Well, I started in the Peace Corps, so back in 2010, and I got sent to a community in Panama where they grew cacao. I had no idea what it was before that. I honestly thought it was just like coffee, like it grew on a bush.
Okay.
And it ends up being like this big pod.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Everybody look that up in Google. See what that picture
Yeah.
is.
It looks really cool.
Yeah.
Like part of it grows off the trunk. They're really cool trees.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
mostly grows off the trunk.
Okay.
It's a tropical fruit. It's actually from deep in the Amazon. We'll actually have some pot. We actually have a tree. We're gonna have a tree at the shop.
Really?
So
Wait,
yeah.
how like in just a big pot?
Yeah, I have one in a big pot.
Yeah.
You're not gonna like break open the floor.
That's what I was thinking.
No.
It's about a foot and a half big right now, and
Okay.
it lives in the bathroom where it's really warm.
Yeah. It's got to stay in kind of like a semi-tropical environment.
Bathroom.
So it will move out of the bathroom eventually.
Yeah, it'll move out from the bathroom.
You need to name it.
Yeah.
Like it needs a name,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should, huh?
He's like, yeah, whatever.
Mini Mudati.
Yeah.
So anyways, so I started in the Peace Corps, and I had no idea what it was, so I ended up getting put in this community, no running water, no electricity, and they were all cacao growers. And my job was to go in there and say, okay, what type of economic opportunities are here, and how can we develop these? So I was an economic development consultant.
Okay.
And I took a look at everything, and I said, nobody knows what cacao is. You guys should just make your own chocolate, because right now they're exporting it, fair trade, organic, and it's just not enough money for them to live. It's not even close. They're still making $1 a day. So we kind of looked at it, and we did some planning, and we just said, you know what, let's build a tour around cacao. Nobody knows what it is. They thought I was crazy. They're like, we've been working with this for 100 years. No one's going to want to know what this is. This is like our life, like nobody would want to see this. And it ended up working really well, and they made we created chocolate products, we created a whole brand, and now it's like the #1 tour in Panama, and still going.
Wow.
I was
that
just
must
there.
be like a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah. I still get like emails and phone calls from like ambassadors and people just being like, oh, the best Peace Corps project ever in Panama. And but it's cool. I feel really good about it. And I just went back there last summer, and they're still doing really good.
I think that's a very common trait of entrepreneurs, and probably ones that do well. It is about the people, and it's about creating something out of nothing. I mean, like food, it's just ingredients, and you put them together, and you make people so happy.
Yeah.
Like, or people see your photography, and that picture did not exist, and that wasn't just. I mean, if I took a picture of a caramel cake, it would not look good. Yeah, it would not be appetizing. Maybe. I mean, there's only so much you can do sometimes for a picture. You make it where people want to eat it off.
Jump through their screen.
Exactly.
I can't tell you how many pictures of chocolate I've tried to take, and I'm just like, well, this does not look like chocolate.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's the lighting, everything.
You wouldn't want to eat.
You wouldn't want to eat.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, sometimes it's not actually real food, though, isn't it? Sometimes when you photograph things, do you always is it sometimes is like the milk and the cereal actually glue? Kind of thing.
If you're doing that, yeah. I haven't done that professionally,
I know, I'm not
but
saying
yeah,
you're
but
not doing Cheerios commercials.
No, unless they want to hire me, but no. Yeah, so like something like a bowl of cereal is actually Crisco filled with the cereal, and they pour glue around it. That's not appetizing. We don't necessarily do tricks. We have techniques to use. I work with a food stylist, Zenaida Rice. She's local. Okay. And you might have to like build things up with toothpicks, it's like when you think about a model. And on a fashion shoot, the gown's tucked in the back and things, and the hair, it looks perfect from the front, but the back's a little funky. Kind of sometimes it's the same way with food. You might have makeup wedges or shoved in there holding a sandwich up, but you don't really get, it's the real product.
It's the real thing, yeah.
And when I shoot for New Leaf, it's their product.
Okay. And
they're the ones creating it. They're in the kitchen, actually, sometimes making it up as we go along.
Oh, wow.
Other clients, and of course, the truth of advertising, it really has to be their product. And so we are pretty legit to it. Now, if I was like, say, shooting coffee that is not for, say, Starbucks, then it can be something like kitchen bouquet in a cup, which is like the old gravy additive to add color.
Okay.
Because, you're not falsely advertising the coffee when it's not your product. Yeah. So there are little tricks.
Great. Okay, so we're going to go to a commercial break right now, but when we come back, we're going to finish off with Adam Armstrong. Be back in 2 minutes.
The first thing they look at is your shoes. Hi, I'm Ellen Gill.
And if they see you in shoes and socks from Sock Shop and Shoe Company, they'll likely look up to you. Hello, I'm Eric Gill.
Sock Shop and Shoe Company has proudly outfitted Santa Cruz County in the best footwear for more than 25 years.
And with your support, we've turned our little sock shop and shoe company into a one-of-a-kind shoe store that attracts shoppers worldwide.
As the quintessentially locally owned Santa Cruz store, Sock Shop and Shoe Company proudly supports the efforts of Think Local First to promote the locally owned and independent businesses that make our community a special place to live and work.
And we hope you keep in mind all the local entrepreneurs who provide us with such wonderful variety of places to eat, work, and live, and who build a strong local economy for all of us. When you head out to shop, please remember to
think local first. People will look up to you.
From apples to zebras, well, you can buy anything online, except peace of mind and professional, caring advice. Hello, I'm Matthew King of King Insurance and Financial. Our family-owned agency is celebrating its 50th anniversary, providing Santa Cruz County businesses and residents with valuable advice. King Insurance is proud of being recognized as experts on the Affordable Care Act, better known as Obamacare, as well as on the insurance products you need to protect your business, home and auto, and on the life insurance and financial services you need to protect your family's future. Celebrating our 50th anniversary with you is an important milestone for us. Whether guiding a devastated client through the loss of a home fire or advising everyone through the confusing and unsettling new healthcare laws, we're always proud to be here for you. Yes, you can buy just about anything on the internet, but if you want peace of mind and professional, caring advice, call on King Insurance and Financial, a proud member of Think Local First, 688-1434, or visit us online at santacruzinsurance.com.
Show. I'm your host, Matthew Swinnerton, and of course this show cannot happen with our sponsors. We want to thank without our sponsors. You know what I mean. We want to thank King Insurance and Financial. They're actually pretty smart people. They registered santacruzinsurance.com. That was smart of them. King Insurance and Financial is a full-service insurance agency serving Santa Cruz since 1964. If you want to get in touch with them, 831-688-1434. King Insurance and Financial. And also Sock Shop. Boy, I can't talk. Sock Shop and Shoe Company. Putting shoes and socks on our feet for the last 25 years. Thank you very much, Sock Shop and Shoe Company. So we are back with Andrew. With Andrew, sorry. I'll get that right. With Adam Armstrong. So Adam, what's the difference between your chocolate and all the other chocolate that we get at the store?
Well, I guess, yeah. So what we do is, so what happened was when I was in the Peace Corps, I realized that they drink chocolate instead of eat it. And that's the way it's been for 90% of chocolate's history. It's been a drink. Okay. And then it was only in Europe when they started actually mixing it with milk and conching it.
It was the elixir of the gods.
Originally
in South America.
So it's been for most of the history of chocolate, it's been a drink.
Okay.
And they still do that in Central America every day. And when they're working on the farms, they're drinking chocolate. They're drinking. Yeah, they mix it with water. It's mostly just water.
So
they're grinding it down.
Hot or is it cold usually?
Sometimes it's hot usually in the morning and at night. But if they're bringing it into the farms, it's just a big jug of it.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I really got used to drinking the chocolate. And these beans that they're growing are considered fine flavored beans. Okay. And these are premium beans that chocolate companies are paying the top dollar for. So drinking this chocolate, it's really good, and it's all dark. It's super good. When I came back, I realized that it's just so different in the States. Like our thought of hot chocolate is like Swiss Miss or something like that.
Powdered.
And, and so no one's really specializing in that. And I feel like I came back and I was like, people need to try good drinking chocolate. Nice. A good chocolate that you'd want to sip or drink on either a cold or a hot day.
So what's the plans for you guys? What's next?
So now we're opening up our small storefront and sipping station, I guess.
Sipping house.
We're calling it a chocolate house.
Okay.
That'll be at the food lounge. And we do the entire another difference between us and other chocolate places is all of our things are single. All of our chocolates are single origin.
Okay.
So they all come from one. They all come from one place. So it's like a wine that uses one grape. So all of our beans that are in the bottle that we use to make one bottle of hot chocolate, those all come from one place. We roast them ourselves. We crack and winnow them ourselves, and then we grind them for about 24 hours to 48 hours, depending on the bean.
Wow.
And then we shred it and then bottle it. We do the entire process.
So this is not out of the package.
No. Yeah. And everything's dark, so you can really taste the actual quality of the bean. So that's the biggest difference.
That's the best type of
chocolate. So you can taste one origin from the next.
So I'm gonna have to try it.
You're gonna have to try it even if you don't like chocolate.
I'm gonna see.
Do you like spicy? No.
I don't.
Do you like salty?
Don't you have like hazelnut or macadamia?
Yeah, we do a hazelnut.
Because Matthew said he liked nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
You'd like
a
hazelnut.
Okay. Yeah. I'd like a hazelnut. Okay.
Yeah.
No. Okay. I'm gonna try. I might. I just might not have ever had good chocolate.
Yeah. You should try it.
That'll be it. Okay. So, from talking to all three of you guys, it seems like everything is rosy. Everything is great. It's like business is booming, going crazy. So you love exactly every single moment of your waking day. We know that's not true. We know sometimes it's stressful. It's not easy to open up your business. I love this question. What wakes you up? What stresses you or keeps you up at 2 a.m? Let's start off with Angela.
I think for any freelance artist, just knowing that you don't have that security, there's like a plus and minus to leaving like a 9-to-5 job. You have, you would have that guaranteed paycheck. You'd have that paid time off. When you work for yourself, you don't.
Yeah.
So like last year, unfortunately, I had to have knee surgery.
Yeah.
And that's like the least thing you don't want to have. Like when you're freelancing, it's January, you're about ready to get up for your year, and then you're down for like 3 months.
Can't lug around all that gear.
No, especially for my job. It's like you can't, and so that becomes a challenge. And I think also wearing so many hats, you kind of can wear out a little bit. I know I'm editing sometimes to the point where I don't even realize it's pitch black out and my house is dark and I'm looking up and like it's been like 8 hours straight. I've been looking at my computer. You get that muscle twitch and you're like, okay, I got to take a break, go for a walk. And you got to really balance taking care of yourself because that's
a good point.
Yeah, as a sole entrepreneur, my business is only as good as I am. So as much as I want to work 24/7, I have to stop sometimes and take a break, take a weekend off. Editing can sometimes wait till Monday.
Yeah.
And I keep I'm telling myself that right now. Editing can wait till Monday. Because it's very important that you don't burn out because this is like lifetime for me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be, 7 years old paying for being so exhausted at 33. I want to continue on for the rest of my life doing this.
Yeah, that's true. I know for me, like I'm working, all of a sudden it's like 4 o'clock. It's like, man, I didn't eat yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, that's why I have a migraine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's like when like people say like, oh, you're shooting, you're with all this food and it smells so good, you're hungry. Like you go into this like hyper focus mode, and it's like 3 hours have gone by, I haven't even had water. You're just not even thinking.
Yeah.
And you do have to step back every once in a while.
Yeah, definitely. Good point. How about you, Andrea? What stresses you at 2 a.m?
Well, if I'm even asleep at 2 a.m. these days because I've been scrubbing and painting so much trying to get this place open. I think that for me right now with the new food lounge, coming off the heels of having a successful, financially successful business, what's really keeping me up right now is how do we get the word out to the community? How do we get the kitchen open? And how do we start making money? Because the 6,500 square foot kitchen came with a lot of problems. We purchased and invested and started up this new business, and then we're running into all sorts of more.
You didn't expect those. I mean, it was an established business. So
it was an established kitchen.
Everything should be good.
Yes, everything should have been good and running and working, but things are broken and dirty and in disrepair. So we're really looking forward to being able to invite people in, get the word out to the community, so we can start feeding people and making some money.
So I can imagine that is stress. Like, how do I get the maximum amount of people to see what I'm doing? That's not an easy thing to do. What's your plans?
Feed them.
Feed them.
Yes, they'll come back.
Okay,
because that's just the basis of my business for the last 10 years. When they eat our food, they always come back. Yeah.
That's nice. That's great marketing.
It is really great marketing.
Yeah. Just feed people.
Just feed people.
So, Adam, what about you? What stresses you out?
Oh man, everything.
Everything.
It's a good thing it's radio. Adam and I are sitting here just like haggard.
Yeah. You know what used to stress me out a lot? Is we leave the stone grinders on. You have to leave them on overnight.
Okay.
And like for some reason, I can never sleep when those are on. But I'm
like they would be on like in your house or where?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they start
like,
out my house. Yeah, and you just hear this like humming. That's like this like it's literally stones grinding against each other. Wow. And the beans are in there, and it grinds them down to being very, very.
I love that. You know, I asked this question so much. I mean, I don't know how many people have been on the show so far. I've never heard that stress.
Yeah, that's a weird stress.
The hum of the grinder.
The hum of the grinder. Yeah, it's just like in my mind, like, you know, I don't know, something's gonna like
could it like burn it like also
it
like
could.
A fuse or something?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. And so it's just like you leaving this thing on while you're sleeping, and I'm just like, oh.
When you guys were kids, do you ever have like one of those little rock grinders?
I had a rock tumbler.
Yeah,
it's and very similar.
It would go on for like you know, like days, and like then I'd take it out. Okay, here it is. It's still not polished.
Yeah, it needs to go on for like weeks.
Yeah.
But I mean that's I guess that's not like a business stress. That's just like
but that's part of your business.
Stress, but yeah.
I mean, so it seems like your stress is like.
Stress is just we had a lot of stress last December just keeping up with demand. I mean, we were making chocolate as fast as we could, as fast as we can make it every single day.
Wait a minute, that's a little bit too of a PC kind of answer. The stress, we were just too good. I guess
so. We were just too busy.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, no, but that is actually legitimate stress.
And there's also financial stress too. I mean,
and also, if you don't make good with people want to buy, you're like, oh, we don't have it.
Yeah,
that actually really is.
People get mad. Yeah, I'm like, well, I'm making this as fast as I can.
And then you didn't feed them, and then it's not good marketing.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, they don't have stuff. It is a totally legitimate stress. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for validating.
No. So there's a lot of stresses, but and we can probably go on an hour about it. But it's a lot of it is it's kind of what we signed up for. We know that it was going to be that way. But all three of you do what you do is because you love what you do. So let's talk about that. What drives and motivates you to keep on going? So let's start off with Andrea. What drives and keeps on motivating you to do what you do?
I feel like a few members of the community have heard this recently because I recently spoke at Advanced Santa Cruz, but feeding people, and it's very basic, and a lot of chefs get great pleasure out of feeding people, and then I'm an instructor as well, so teaching people, both adults and teenagers and young people during summer camps.
I met one of your students recently. She was so excited that I knew you. I feel like I was a celebrity because I knew you.
Very, very fun. I love seeing them around the community. Now I'm starting to see them working in restaurants and local businesses in the food industry. It's so exciting, and I'm so proud of them because I teach high school kids how to cook. Yeah. And what else wakes me or gets me up in the morning? This new venture is all about community, and so more than just having a restaurant or having a catering company and feeding people, I want to really be part of the community. I love weddings. Weddings are fantastic, but I'm just not a wedding caterer. So 40 weddings a year to me is not what feeds my soul, for lack of a better pun. But feeding, people where I can watch your face and be involved. You're in my space. We're communing around a table. We're having a good time. Helping nonprofits have events, raise money, having team building events with corporations, getting them out of the office and using food to bring them together. It's more than just giving people food in their mouth and watching them, smile and eat it. But it's just like, how can we use food, which everybody needs. Everybody's got to eat, minimum of a few times a day. How do we take that and bring the community together? It's so exciting and empowering to me to be creating a space where people are going to want to come because there's amazing food and there's community, there's a party, there's a live band, there's an artist up on the walls. And so it's really just about how can I feed as many people in town as often as possible?
It is true. Feeding people brings people together. I was told once that to have a good event, you need
You need lifestyle culinary.
Yes, that's 100% first. Yeah, you need to give them drinks. You need to feed them, and you need to burn something. that makes a good event. And so feeding is definitely...
Got it. Well, the food lounge will need a fire pit then, because I forgot about that last component.
We'll work on that one.
We'll work on that
it's
one.
just a sizzle. Okay, how about you, Angela? What drives and motivates you to keep on going?
I absolutely love what I do. I love being an artist, finally. Like, I've always had the heart of an artist. My dad's an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. And I feel like I'm finally, I mean, not just for myself, but I love working with my clients. I love telling their story. I love seeing their eyes light up when, you know, the light hits their product just in the right way. And like, oh my gosh, I never thought that could look so beautiful. And, you know, when you work with people and you share ideas, it's a fun, creative atmosphere. Working up each other as far as how this should look, or do you have any ideas, or maybe, you know, spin it this way, or get a shot from overhead. And I really love collaboration. And that's really fun with Santa Cruz, because it's smaller communities, so it feels like you can collaborate with almost like your neighbor. I mean, everybody is involved, and it's great to just really get involved in this type of community, especially with food. There's a lot of foodies here.
It's funny because we are a small town, but a big town in some way. It's like, it's like the perfect balance.
It is.
Because collaboration, oh man, it's like you're always collaborating. I've collaborated with both of you. And actually all three of you.
Yes, you have.
All three of us. And that's what constantly happens. You know, it's like, and it's fun to like work together and make these events or make these projects, or, you know, it's just, it makes your life more enjoyable. It makes you want to get out of bed. Like I said, yeah. And it seems like you found a right balance between your entrepreneurism, business-wise, and the art-wise.
Yeah.
You brought them together. Yeah. How about you, Adam? What drives and motivates you to keep on going?
Yeah, so what drives me is that when someone tries some of our hot chocolate or our sipping chocolate, and they look at me and say, I've never had anything like this, and I love it. And I don't know, it just lights me up inside a little bit.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I like that. And then also just the thought of, you know, the farmers that I worked with in the community. One day I'd really like to, you know, import all of their cacao at a higher price and have people really enjoy their fine cacao and have them get a little bit, you know, enough money to send their kids to school, really.
I love that idea. It's more than, of course, the product is great, but it's a whole story about what you're doing. And I think that's what people identify a lot of the times. And it's fun that you created that.
Yeah.
And even just, I don't know, for me, I love starting something new and, like, you know, creating the look, the feel of something, the packaging, you know, all that stuff. And with food, I mean, it is all about that, isn't it? I mean, that's when people look at something, you know, are they attracted to it or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you work on that a lot?
Oh man. I literally spent a year on the packaging.
Oh really?
Just ordering samples from all over the world of different things and spending a lot of time on Pinterest.
Can't be cheap either.
No, I put all. Yeah, you get like this little like bonus when you get out of the Peace Corps. So the Peace Corps is volunteer. You don't get paid for it, but you get like a readjustment allowance, is what it's called. Okay. And I spent all that money on it.
Oh man!
I bought some chocolate. I bought some chocolate equipment, and I just bought packaging stuff, and I just sat in the kitchen for a year, and made it to where it was perfect, and then decided to go for it.
So again, if they want to find out more about you, where do they go?
They can go to Mudari Chocolate, so that's MUTARI chocolate.com or beantobottle.com.
Okay. Yeah. And Angela, you again, where do they find out more about you?
You can go straight to my website, AngelaAurelio.com, and that's Angela, AURELIO.
Okay. And Andrea?
The Food Lounge is currently occupying 1001 Center Street in downtown Santa Cruz, and our soon-to-be up website will be scfoodlounge.com.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I was really excited about today, and I guess there was a reason why it really worked. Thank you guys for coming.
Thanks, Matthew.
It's Saturday. It's not always an easy thing to do to come. Usually you might have been doing other things, but thank you for coming here. So that's it for the Think Local First radio show. Come back next week, same time, 2 o'clock, to listen to more entrepreneurs talk about their stories, their challenges, their struggles, but their excitement and their passion. That is it. Enjoy your weekend, and we will see you next week.